The Thai Community Development Center was founded in April 1994 on the idea that all peoples have the basic right to a decent standard of living and quality of life. Our mission is to advance the social and economic well-being of low and moderate income Thais and other ethnic communities in the Greater Los Angeles area through a comprehensive community development strategy, including human rights advocacy, affordable housing, access to healthcare, promotion of small businesses, neighborhood empowerment, and social enterprises.
Being kept as slaves. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia is live in El Monte with an up.
They were slaves. Inside one of the worst sweatshops anyone had ever witnessed, known as El Monte, where nearly 100 workers from Thailand were held as slave labor inside.
The Traffic Victims Protection Act was enacted, a legislation passed by Congress in 2000 to help victims of trafficking receive some health benefits and legal status and work permits so they could lead normal lives and be able to participate in the prosecution of their cases.
ThaiCDC played a pivotal role in over a half dozen major human rights cases involving 400 Thai victims of human trafficking and modern-day slavery in the United States. This includes the famed El Monte case that brought ThaiCDC international media attention.
Did you make these women serve you on their knees?
She told me if I escaped, she would call the police. My family was living on her property in Thailand. I was very afraid.
And they love my son like their kid, and my son loved them like a second mom.
I would work in the house early in the morning and then be taken to the restaurant to work until after midnight. Then I'd be brought back home and expected to work some more. Not even allowed to eat regular meals or provided with any kind of food. I was given scraps to eat. Scraps of chicken, scraps of pork. I could eat only what was left over.
My family was living on her property in Thailand. I was very afraid.
She would threaten me and tell me if you even dare escape or think about escaping, I will kill you.
So you were always on your knees?
I make a call every time.
You had to crawl every time?
Yes.
Did you make these women serve you on their knees?
Never and ever.
You never made them crawl to you as you was...
A jury convicted Supawan, and she was sentenced to 8 years in prison for involuntary servitude in the case of Novi. She was also found guilty of harboring undocumented workers and credit card fraud. She's appealing and still insists she did nothing wrong.
The ThaiCDC helped 4 Thai domestic workers pursue justice against their Thai employer who enslaved them for years in her Woodland Hills home. This resulted in her conviction and sentencing for human trafficking and indentured servitude.
In our role as advocate, Thai Community Development Center believes that the development of Thai Town should address the fundamental needs of its residents.
Hollywood Boulevard between Normandy and Western Avenue as Thai Town. Tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
Thank you very much. Forthwith to the mayor.
This is CBS 2 News at 6.
Fox 11 Morning News. KTLA Prime News.
The latest was designated Thai Town for Thailand.
Thai Town.
Thai Town.
Thai Town.
Thai Town wants to become one of LA's premier ethnic enclaves like Chinatown or Little Tokyo.
Thai Town now becomes the first and only Thai Town in the nation. Thai Town, Thai Town.
Thai Town. Thai Town. Thai Town이 탄생했습니다.
Thai Town.
It's a place where we can show off Thai culture beyond what all of us know as Thai food.
Epson C was installed on June 15, 2007. The beautification project symbolizes the cultural and economic ties between Los Angeles Thai American community and the city of Bangkok, Thailand, which are both internationally known as the City of Angels.
Next station, Thai-town, Hollywood and Weston.
Expect all this and more at the grandest event hosted by the Thai community of Los Angeles. The 5th annual Thai New Year Songkran Festival, Thai-town in Hollywood.
ThaiCDC gave birth to the Thai Town Festival that has since evolved into Thai New Year's Day Songkran Festival in Los Angeles. This is considered the largest and most popular Thai celebration outside of Thailand, attracting 100,000 visitors.
It's definitely a privilege to be here this afternoon.
What a pleasure it is to be here.
รู้สึกว่ายิ่งใหญ่มาก
ThaiCDC has over 10 years of experience in affordable housing development and has developed more than 120 units for very low and low-income individuals and families. The 46-unit building, carefully restored into newly renovated apartments, offers large families units at 35% and 50% AMI. The ThaiCDC and LTSC Community Development Corporation jointly developed 60 units of affordable housing for seniors called Palm Village Senior Housing in Sun Valley neighborhood of Los Angeles. ThaiCDC co-founded the Asian Pacific Islander Small Business Program to provide free business counseling and technical assistance to Asian entrepreneurs and small businesses. As the first event of this kind to be held in this area, the sole purpose of this event is to improve the quality of life for East Hollywood residents in terms of creating opportunities for improved health, housing, jobs, and recreation. ThaiCDC will help build more decent and affordable housing to help low-income individuals, families, and seniors achieve economic self-sufficiency. As its first social enterprise project, ThaiCDC will open a public market to revitalize East Hollywood and bolster cultural tourism in Thai Town. The market will create 40 jobs, incubate 80 immigrant businesses, and host an outdoor farmers market. Thai Town will soon benefit from a $1.3 million facelift from the East Hollywood Streetscape project funded by the City of LA, adding 60% more trees and some decorative crosswalks and sidewalks. ThaiCDC will continue to advocate for the rights of all vulnerable and disadvantaged peoples to bring about justice and accountability while building stronger and healthier communities.